that beauty, makes you feel a little less sad about all the sadness. This poem was for me almost like that. Tell me harsh things in a beautiful way, please.
Kate makes it more digestible.
Oh, hi guys.
Hello,
I am Megha,
I'm Anurag.
and this is Poems with Friends, where we read a poem and try to feel something. So today's poem is What We Want by Linda Paston. I think it's again a really simple but very great feeling kind of a poem. So let's get started. You want to read it?
Okay. What We Want by Linda Paston. What we want is never simple. We move among the things we thought we wanted: a face, a room, an open book, and these things bear our names. Now they want us. But what we want appears in dreams, wearing disguises. We fall past, holding out our arms, and in the morning our arms ache. We don't remember the dream, but the dream remembers us. It is there all day, as an animal is there under the table, as the stars are there even in full sun.
Amazing.
So nice.
Yeah, I think it's one of those poems that suddenly hits you for the simplicity of the thing it says, but then when I am writing a poem, I'm always thinking about this is a feeling that I'm getting, but then this is something that is so talked about, or that is so cliche, or that is so known already, that what is new that I will say. That's what I sometimes think when I'm trying to write a poem.
What are you contributing?
Yes, what am I contributing? This is something that so many people must have felt so many times. What is it that I'll be able to say new? But this is one of those poems which will say something that I want to hear. And it says it's a very simple thing, but when you read it like the way she has put it, you go, wow, yes, this is what I wanted to hear my whole life.
Hmm. That's true. I guess. Ki, I think that is the thing. Ki, what she says is, we know, but
Right.
the imagery differentiates it.
Yes. Yeah, it's like sometimes there's a friend who says things better than you would have said yourself, who articulates your feelings better than you would have articulated them. It's like one of those poems, right? You wouldn't have said it in the way that she said it, but this is exactly what you felt. Yeah, I think this is the kind of poems that makes me believe in poems again. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you would be like, why would someone read a poem or something? This is the kind of thing, this is why you would read a poem. Because
Did you stop believing in poems for a while?
I mean, yeah, sometimes I don't find a really good poem in a long while, and then I'm not able to write anything good in a long while, and then I stop that, like, and like, fine, poems are just intellectual stuff. But when I find something like this, then I feel the real power of it, and I feel that people want this because people want to hear all those things. It is like there are so many feelings that we suppress for ourselves, and if someone else comes and says it, there is something that was almost dying inside of you that comes alive. Even some of my friends who commented, I put this poem, I have a small group on which I put poems. Some of my friends who commented, I know that those are the people who have also been like suppressing desires. All of us are suppressing desires, and reading something like this just makes you feel like someone gave you a warm hug and said that yes, I understand what you're feeling. Okay. We can talk about line by line why it works.
Before we go there, what was the overall impression you had of the poem?
It just said something that was very true, but it said it in a very gut punching kind of way. You know, there is like it is something that you know about yourself, but you are not ready to accept it. So then someone else and came and said it to you, and as you said, the imagery was haunting but yet comforting at the same time. You know, it's the imagery was like sorrowful, but then it was like a sweet sorrow. You know, when sometimes you're crying and you're sad, but you don't feel suffocated or angry. You almost feel very warm and sweet while crying. It is like a very sweetly sorrowful kind of thing. You know, it is sorrowful, but that sorrow is just there. You know, everyone has it. You can't do anything about it. So it didn't make you feel uncomfortable. It actually said a very uncomfortable thing, but it didn't make me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel sad in a way that yes, it is sad, but it is true. Like
Wait, I think
Hmm.
we are then uncomfortable.
Hmm.
What did you interpret this poem to be?
Uncomfortable as in what we want. We it is basically saying that we are living our lives as a lie, right? That we are not accepting what we want,
Hmm.
and we are surrounding ourselves with things which we think we want, like a house or money or good clothes, but actually what we want is something else. So that is a very uncomfortable truth that we are living.
Okay, हाँ, ठीक है.
That- what did
Oh.
you feel like? What was your first impression?
No, I believe on similar lines,
Hmm.
but I think it was not uncomfortable for me. Just accepted
That's
this
true.
weird thing that's happening.
Right. Yeah, it didn't make me feel uncomfortable. If I think about it that way, that my whole life is a lie, then it's an uncomfortable truth. But the poem itself made me feel very sad but comforted at the same time.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, what else? Yes, let's read it again.
Hmm.
What we want is never simple. We move among the things we thought we wanted. I think, yes, just these opening lines, what do you think about them?
Okay, it sets up the dichotomy.
As in dichotomy of?
I think I'll probably not stop the thought there. I'll probably stop the thought till now they want us.
That is also true. I think why I stopped it here was because I felt that like it's a great way of getting right into it. Like
Oh, okay.
right into the meat of it.
Okay, you're not beating around the bush.
Yes.
etc.
You're not trying to be flowery just from the beginning, because first you have to give people context. And what we want is never simple. We move among the things we thought we wanted. So, but it's not dry. It's not like a dry way of getting into things. For example, I could have said that we think we want something, but we don't actually want it. You know? That's a very dry intellectual way of saying things. But when she says we move among the things, that starts with the ghostly, sad imagery of it, right? Then
The one thing I want to point out is this is one of the rare poems where the title is in the
right,
poem.
right.
Because usually, at least in all the modern poems, what I've seen is that there is a poem and then the title acts as an extra
Right.
interpretation. Here, the poem works without the title.
That's true. I think for me that also double underlines the what we want, because that what we want is such a big question, right? What we want, and then the repetition of that what we want is like an underline. What we want is never simple.
Okay, what we want is never simple. We move among the things we thought we wanted. That's such
Right.
funny.
Okay, then a face, a room, an open book. And these things bear our names. Now they want us.
This is a very good way of saying, okay, now that we have gotten them, we are ignoring them.
Or ignoring them, or like they own us right now. It's like
Oh,
now we are their slaves. I was actually I connected with this so much also because this line, this is what we have been thinking. I was talking to you about, roaming around and living in different places, because this is the exact thought that I was feeling, that when you have a house and when you have so many things that you can call your own, that kind of also makes you feel trapped, because now you want perfection in everything. If you look at the wall which is a little dirty, you want it to be correct, you want the door to be correct, you want the furniture to be correct, you want everything to be exactly correct. So living in that house, owning all those things, gives you a sense of entitlement, which is not there when you're traveling, because when you're traveling you don't own that place, and in the same way that place does not own you. So it is a very freeing thing. So that's why I also love these lines, because I was feeling the same feeling for a while now, that the more I own, the more it starts to kind of own me.
I have such a
Hmm.
good insight in my life
Hmm.
based on this.
Bolo?
Ki when we travel, things do not
Hmm.
want us.
Hmm.
I think for for my partner, even while traveling, things want.
Oh, that is the thing you're saying.
Ki
Hmm.
कि
He wants
things-
perfection even in traveling, you're saying.
हाँ कि things call out, like he
Hmm.
still feels trapped
Right,
even
right.
while traveling.
Hmm. But what
Um,
does he feel trapped about? Like things or
So
doing things?
that will completely derail our discussion, but it's a very good insight in general
Makes
that
sense. Hmm.
कि things can trap you
Hmm.
and things can trap people in
Hmm.
different
Yeah,
situations.
yes.
Like traveling frees you, but
Hmm.
it's possible for some people
Hmm.
not to feel freed even then.
Even then, because there is something that else that they're trapped by. I think we have had this conversation many times in the last year, even about like being smart or being seen as the smart person in the room, or being good at your job. That is also something that is what you want initially, but now you feel trapped by that identity that you have
Hmm.
created for yourself, and you have to work towards maintaining that. Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting what she has mentioned. She has mentioned a face, a room, and open book. I didn't understand open book. Face I thought might be vanity, like beauty. Room might be like room, house. Why does she say open book?
I'm also confused.
A face, a room, and open book, and these things bear our names. Okay. Maybe our audience, you can tell us what she might mean by an open book. Okay. Now they want us.
Oh, by the way, a phase I thought is companionship.
That is also true. Someone else's face. Hmm.
But then it's not a thing.
But then companionship, I think face, maybe she specifically mentioned, because even in a companion, if you're looking for attraction, like
Hmm.
physical attraction, then that is something like a face that you want, and now it wants you back. Because if you want an attractive partner, then that partner would also want you to be attractive.
Hmm.
So you are trapped by it. Hmm. But what we want appears in dreams wearing disguises. We fall past, holding out our arms, and in the morning our arms ache. This is an interesting imagery actually. What do you think about this?
I didn't understand the we fall past. Literally. What does it mean?
I was also trying to imagine it. What I was imagining was like, we are trying to grab something, because what we want appears in dreams wearing disguises made me think like apparitions in dreams. So there are these apparitions in dreams, and we are going past, like through them almost. Like we want to grab them, but we are not able to grab them. So we are holding out our arms and we are grabbing them. Either that or falling past holding out our arms could be like falling, like, falling from
That
the
seems
sky.
to make sense to me.
We fall past holding out our arms. So we are like falling from a cliff, holding our arms like this.
Hmm. and you're going through all your dreams, living them
Living them. No, but not really living them. Right?
as in the dream, but
But what we want appears in dreams. I think this is for me why the poem actually works because, as you said, what she said is a philosophically very simple thing to say, but because she imbued such magic and dreaminess to it, that is why it made you feel something also. Otherwise, the difference between philosophy and poetry is just this, like the image itself. Because philosophy also you can read and you can intellectually feel that yes, what I want is not this, etc, etc. But I think that's why poetry is stronger than philosophy, because it gives you the truth, but it gives you the truth with a pinch of a feeling in your gut. And because you have the feeling in your gut, you are able to hold on to that knowledge more strongly. I can read 100 philosophy books, but I can forget about all of that knowledge. But if I read a poem like this and it hits me and it makes me feel something, that knowledge will remain with me.
As to what I felt about this, I think the idea is very simple, right? That if what she's saying is what we want is never simple. It's a continuation of that. It's essentially explanation of why it is not simple. Because it lives in your subconscious.
Right.
You do not really know like just so easily what you want.
Right. That's a very nice point. That it's actually not very simple. Like, we think that it's simple, but you have to basically access it in a way. Not just, we think that what we want is simple and the getting of that want is complex. But as you said, knowing what you want is actually the more complex part.
Okay, what she's saying is, which I have felt, to be honest, at certain points, that you ache. Your life is not enough. You may want something. But when you think about, let's try to action
do something
upon it. What do we do?
Exactly.
And that's the difficult part. And this really captures that. That you have the emptiness, but you do not know what to fill it with.
You do not know anymore because you have lost that access to your subconscious.
And the thing is, what the best part is, it's not that you do not know what to fill it with. You have been trying because I am already moving among the things I thought I wanted, and I'm like, oh fuck, I did not want this.
Right.
Okay, I'm stuck now.
No, actually, great point. And one more great thing there is that what you said, we always talk about how many directions a poem can take, right? So what you said, that feeling of panic, that oh shit, now I'm stuck, all of these things I actually did not want and I put so much effort into getting them. That is also a very valid direction that this poem could have taken. And she didn't go into the panic direction. She went into a more like magical but soothing but sad direction. Right. What we want appears in dreams. Okay. We fall past holding out our arms, and in the morning our arms ache. Actually, I love how, each line is like so full of meaning, not in an intellectual way, but in a very subtle way, in the sense that when she says in the morning our arms ache, she's basically attaching that feeling of your subconscious wants something, but it's not directly telling you, so your arm is aching now. For example, people say that if you have knee pain, then you have ego problems or something like that, or if this problem is with your body is there, if your hand is shaking, then maybe you're scared about something. Your body actually gives you signals, but it's just that we have lost connection to those signals. We don't know what it means. So in the morning my arms are aching. I don't know why they're aching. I might put some balm on them and I might just go to office and do my thing, but internally my subconscious is telling me something. Okay. I also think that this poem really applies to you also right now. I'm connecting to it so much. Like, yes, there is something. I have everything. That's what you were saying yesterday also. That I have everything. But what is it that I don't have? Hmm. We don't remember the dream, but the dream remembers us. It is there all day as an animal is there under the table.
What to stop? I just remembered when you came in, I was crying and sleeping too much.
Yes, exactly.
You're like, what's the problem? Like, I'm not sure.
What did I give
Just seems to be a problem.
There seems to be a problem. I don't know. And then you're like, my day is wasted. I'm like, what do you want? I actually asked this. What do you want? Do you want the lesser holiday? Do you want more holiday? What is it that you want? I think I don't know. I just,
It was very funny. But anyway, let's.
okay. But this is the thing, right? It's like so nicely put, all of your feelings. Hmm. We don't remember the dream, but the dream remembers us. The dream remembers you.
The dream remembered me.
It is there all day as an animal is there under the table, as the stars are there, even in full sun. Nice. What do you think about these?
I really like how she uses such a non-cliche and cliche
Right,
together.
right. Hmm.
So stars are there even in full sun. It's a very
Yeah, very
standard
cliche.
trope. But animal is there under the table. Like, what?
Exactly.
I mean, my cat sits on the table. But
Yeah.
the animal sitting under the table. Usually they are sitting inside you.
Yes.
Or behind a curtain. Like they're sinister. This animal just seems to be in
This actually gave
hidden,
me
ignored
a
animal.
very foreboding feeling. It's interesting that for you it was a hidden, ignored thing. For me, it was a very foreboding thing. Like, an animal is sitting under the table. Anything can
Okay.
happen now. But both interpretations are valid. I think you are saying that this is an ignored thing that is sitting under the table. A very ignored animal, like maybe the animal of your subconscious. It's ignored.
I think to me it was not ignored. It was mostly ki when an animal has a trust issue, they go into a corner,
Right.
and then you have to bring them out. You have to bring an effort, create
Right.
that trust. So that is what I connected it with, at least in the context.
That also makes a lot of sense. That now it's not talking to you anymore because it doesn't trust you. Now it's hiding itself. So your real wants are hiding themselves because you didn't give them space or love enough. Makes sense. I also really like the point that she uses the cliche and non-cliche together in such a it's like making a dish and putting the right amount of salt and pepper. You can't be all cliche, but then yes, the ending with as the stars are there even in full sun, almost gives you like a hopeful or magical kind of feeling. Like it doesn't. So this when reading this poem doesn't make you feel broken down, doesn't as I said, doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, doesn't make you feel panicked, doesn't make you feel frustrated. It almost makes you feel like the world, the oneness of the world, or the magic of it, or the sadness of it. Like for example, the sadness of the human life, but then that sadness is shared by everything, even by the stars, something like that.
To me, actually, it was. I think hopeful or hopeless is not an access. Actually, I interpreted this poem as. I interpret this poem as a very one of those poems where this is the truth, but it is said so beautifully.
Right.
So here, I think what the poet continued with is ki she's saying till now she's saying it's not simple. You may not know it. It's in your subconscious, etc. But what the poet is saying is that the wants do not change. Ki wants are very always there. Like the fact that they're in the subconscious is fine. What I understood by this is that your core wants do not change a lot. Like it's a very specific thing she's saying. She's saying that whether you see it or not, whether you talk to it or not, the wants are not going to change.
They are always there. Even in the full sun may be like, you are fully ignoring it and going in another direction. but the stars are still there. Like,
कि
they will
if
never
you
leave
want validation always, if you want कि oh you are okay, you are a good person, if that is your core want, that want will not change over time. The want will remain same for you.
Right. No, that's totally, I also agree to it. I think for me, what I was getting to is, hopeful was not the right word. But as you said, that this says the truth, but it says in a beautiful way. So for me, it was like just how this world exists. So the whole existence of world and of human life and the purposelessness of human life is so sad, but then also there is beauty to look at. So there is that beauty is pointless, but that beauty, makes you feel a little less sad about all the sadness. This poem was for me almost like that. That there is this harsh and sad truth that your subconscious is there and you're ignoring it, but it's said in such a beautiful way. That beautiful way of saying it is pointless, but I like it. Yes, tell me harsh things in a beautiful way, please.
It makes it more digestible
More
to you.
digestible, yes, and it makes me connected back to how the world is also. That the world is also very pointless and very brutal and very harsh, but it is beautiful also.
And it's beautiful in a true sort of
Not
way.
true sort of way,
कि you are
yes.
walking down the path. It does not have to be a beautiful hut. It just have to be a hut.
Right. Nice. This is also a great line. I think we don't remember the dream, but the dream remembers us. I love the haunting feeling of this poem also. I wish I'll go back and try writing something like this. I just love this haunt. I have never read such a beautifully haunting poem. And this reminds me of, actually, have you seen Casper, the ghost movie, Casper? It's exactly like that. So that movie is so sad, but it's so beautiful and so haunting. Sad, beautiful, and haunting at the same time, because it's like a child's ghost. I think that was also one of my favorite movies growing up. So.
That's true. Okay, there is this feeling of. Okay, I think because as soon as these inanimate objects start having feelings and actions and wants, because the things were wanting
things
us,
want
the dream remembers us. Now you have.
Yes.
I think it makes you pause in the middle of the poem and be like, okay, is the poet saying it just for the sake? Like the poet, of course, meant something, but what did they mean? I think that.
Yes, and the amazing, you put amazing words to it, that all these inanimate things are now having feelings. The things want us, the dream remembers us. So then you are sitting in your room and you can suddenly feel that the world around you is kind of watching you. The chair is watching you. Everyone, everything is like not conspiring against you, but it is like there. It is also alive, and
Like the Toy Story.
Yes, and you are also a small part of it. You wanted it, but now the chair wants you to keep it clean. The chair also wants it now. Like, oh no. Nice. Awesome. Linda Baston. I don't think we have read anything with Linda
I
Baston.
don't remember.
Maybe we should try some more and see what her style is, because this is so simply written, but evokes so many feelings. This is the kind of poems I want to write, not 1000 techniques or complex words, just like a very simple thing said so beautifully. Okay, let's read it again.
You read?
What we want. What we want is never simple. We move among the things we thought we wanted. A face, a room, an open book. And these things bear our names. Now they want us. But what we want appears in dreams, wearing disguises. We fall past holding out our arms, and in the morning our arms ache. We don't remember the dream, but the dream remembers us. It is there all day, as an animal is there, under the table, as the stars are there, even in full sun.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. Let us know what you thought, guys.
Yes, then you have a homework. What does the open book mean?
What is an
Still
open book?
confusing.
Yes. Okay, and we will see you next time with another beautiful poem.
Yes.
Bye. इतनी सही अरे एक्चुअली हाँ मुझे कैस्पर याद आ गया इससे. I was like, what is this reminding? What is this reminding?